Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my segment. So today's segment's all about how to convert your job interviews into multiple job offers. So that is what I'm going to teach you today. But before I kick off this segment, please take a moment to introduce yourself. Let me know.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my.
Where you're tuning in from, please let me know in the comments. Drop your intros in the comments. So I will take a few minutes just to wait to see how many people have tuned in, and we will kick this segment off. So before I begin, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone that has been messaging me in the past week. I've got a lot of sweet messages from a lot of individuals, so thank you so much. The power of sharing your post can be very moving. Being able to, I'm grateful and humbled for the opportunity that I have been given to be able to use my voice on my platform to be able to discuss some major issues that we tend to shy away from, which is mental health. And I, for one, do not shy away to talk on this topic, being able to share my own personal journey through the mental health. I've gone through a lot in 12 years. I didn't really get the courage to openly share stuff until my dad died. Wow, it's already been 2 years. Sorry. Ooh, I always get emotional when I talk about my dad. So sorry about that. Actually, no, I'm not going to apologize for getting a little emotional when I bring up my dad. So I got the courage to talk about mental health, being able to share my journey with you guys all, and is to show that we are human. We are human beings, and we have every right to feel what we feel. Please, please, please don't ever think you are alone in your journey. You are not alone. You are perfectly perfect with every emotion that you may be feeling, okay? And here I am crying on my own segment as I choked up at my dad. That's just to show you how human we all are. Don't let social media fool you to think that everyone's living a happy, perfect life, because let's be real, there's no such thing as perfect. Healthy, there is healthy, but nothing perfect about anyone's lives. We all have ups and downs. We all have journey. We have a different journey. We're all on a different journey. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody. But please, please, please be open to willing to share your stories. If you are dealing with something, you need sometimes it's easier to talk to a complete stranger than it is to talk to your friends or family. Feel free to reach out to me. It's why I share my struggles, mental health, anything. I'm open to sharing this, just so to show someone that it's okay to feel the way you do. Don't ever justify how you feel to anybody. Those that don't understand what you're feeling are quick to put you down. Those are the people you don't want to be around. You can totally just remove them out of your life, because, be honest, who got time for people who are so quick to judge other people for based on whatever their journey is, whatever they're feeling and their emotions? So never let someone tell you how you should feel, ever, ever. You are entitled to feel how you feel. So thank you so much for those that have taken the time to message me past week when I openly shared of me being a little envy of somebody I know who is expecting a second child. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all those messages. I always save those messages for rainy days. I always take a screenshot, believe it or not. Anytime someone messages me that's encouraging, supportive, I always take a screenshot for those rainy days. I call it the rainy days because, you know, we all have ups and downs. There's days where we're living our best life, and then there might be some setbacks, and then you can feel a little down, and then I just use those messages to get myself back up in the good energy. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's kick the segment off on a good note. Now, this little blurb that I just shared openly can happen to you before you go into an interview. You can get nervous. You can have self-doubt. You can have limiting beliefs kick in. You think you're not good enough. We're human beings, right? This can happen to us even before going into an interview. So today's all about how to ace those interviews, and I'm going to cover some strategies as well as how to help you get into that energy mode where you can just crush it. So it's all about crushing it, and I'm going to teach all that strategies today. So before I kick off this segment, before I get into how to ace your interviews, please take a moment to introduce yourself in the comment section, where you're tuning in from, who you are, and a little intro about yourself. And if you're looking for a job opportunity, feel free to let everybody know what you're looking for. This is a great place to network with one another. So when you come onto someone's live or someone's post, don't be shy to introduce yourself, write a comment. On my LinkedIn lives, like especially if I'm doing a job search type of LinkedIn live, please take a moment to introduce yourself and even let other people know what you're looking for and what you bring to the table. It's a great way to meet new people. It's a great way to network. Okay, so let's take a moment to, if you haven't already introduced yourself, please do so. Oh, India, thank you. Billy Roseborn, Canada. Tuning in from Toronto, Canada, looking to close a few intro opportunities. Hi, Sile. Hi, Sam. You are welcome. India, it's so important to understand that it's okay not to be okay. Please, everyone, reach out for help and support. Yes, Sam, thank you so much. Yes, guys, it is okay to feel how you feel. It's okay not to be happy. It's okay to feel down once in a while. It's okay to cry. It's okay. I think that this is the third time I've maybe had tears in my eyes when I was talking about something. Usually it is when I bring up my dad. A little emotional, sensitive. Okay, so let's kick off. So first things first, before I jump into how to ace these interviews so that you can convert them into job offers, please have a pen and paper, or however you take notes. Open a notepad, open Word document, Google Docs, wherever you take notes. Please, please, please take notes, because I am going to teach you 3 things today, which is really going to help you ace those interviews. Like, we want to convert those interviews into job offers. Okay. Now, why do we want to convert these interviews into job offers? Is that the whole purpose of an interview is for you to convert them into job offers. That's what interviews are supposed to be, right? You want to convert them into job offers. If you are going on, how many people actually, let me do a poll here. Let me ask a question to the audience. How many people land interviews? How many people are struggling in interviews? Or how many people make it to first or second round but never make it to a final round? How many of you guys have made it all the way to final rounds of interviews but then didn't get a job offer? Let me know in the comments. So I'll take a moment right here. Oh, cool. Prepping for an interview in a few hours. So this will be really helpful. I hope this segment, Oyen Lola, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. I am so sorry not pronouncing your name correctly. So I hope this segment will help you prep your interviews. So how many people have interviews lined up? Let me know as well. Yes, they can be hard. Yes, they can be. Interviews can be hard, but they don't have to be hard. Make it to final rounds. Okay, so let me know if you have interviews lined up. Let me know how far you make it to the interview level, first round, second round, third round, final rounds. Let me know about that as well. Okay. And also let me know some of the things you may be struggling with interviews. Made it to final round, deep. Vivian, I made a final interview but didn't get the offer. Okay, I think interview strategy of each companies is different. I think interview strategy for each companies is different. It's not interview strategy. Companies don't have interview strategies. Companies have recruitment strategies and what they're looking for. Looking to close some data and analytics opportunities. I have final interview today. Oh, so that's great. Salary negotiation. Can't seem to even get to first rounds. Okay, so sorry to hear that. Okay, so today's all about interviews. If you can't even get yourself into landing a first round of interviews, there's a bunch of things that could possibly happening. And the biggest thing I've found is a lot of people don't have job search strategy. So you can connect to me on the side about that, or you can visit my website, gkmcoaching.com/store, and you can find some of my courses on how to write a resume, how to tap into the hidden job market where 80% of the jobs actually exist, how to convert your LinkedIn profile into a job lead magnet. So could you kindly share any tips to close out any sensitive developments, expectations that could impact your performance during an interview? At times I use visualization techniques to motivate me to exceed expectations during an interview, but it has reached a stage where now I believe I make it the center of the universe. Any suggestions? I'm not satisfied. Okay. I'm going through to the first round. What can I expect? Okay, so so great. Thank you everyone for writing your comments. Please keep going with the comments. And if you have any questions, please type them below in the comment section. I will do the Q&A at the end So, but feel free to drop those questions in the comment sections, and I will get to them after I teach the 3 top things that I want to teach today. So get a pen and paper ready, or however you take notes. Okay, so make sure please take notes. You can get access to this replay from my LinkedIn post as well. Okay, so let's talk about step 1. When you land an interview, the most crucial part is prep. You have to prep. And I believe from my experience of 15 plus years of hiring as well as coaching people on interviews, as a coach, I found that a lot of people actually don't know how to prep for an interview. So they do like the bare minimum, and that could hinder your results in the interview. So first step is prep. Now, how do you prep? What's the best way to prep for an interview is step number 1 for prepping. So first, part 1 is prepping. Now I'm going to break down the prep steps for you so that you understand how to prep. Okay, so pre-prep, so interview prepping, step 1. You want to read the job posting or the job description. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to read line by line, word for word. And then you want to make notes, talking points for each line mentioned in the job description. Okay, because that's what your interview is all going to be all about. It's going to be the clue of what the interview is going to be is actually the job posting, because the job posting covers what the company is looking for, what you would be doing in this role, what are the results the company wants. Okay, so focus on the job description, job posting, line by line, read the first sentence, write talking points. Second line, read the second line, write your talking points on that. So and so on and so on and so on. Okay. Step 2, you want to research the company inside out. Okay. You want to, step 1, okay, so how do you research the company? Step 1, you want to go and visit the company's website. And what you want to do is you want to get to know the company inside out. Read their mission statement, their vision statement, what they stand for, what they believe in. Tons of information on the company's website. Then you want to, second part to researching the company is Google the company's name and see what comes up when you Google in it. Maybe they've been in the news. Maybe there's articles written on this company. So Google company's name. Third step in researching the company is visiting their social media pages from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn page. And then you want to study their post. There's tons of information in the social media platform of a company's social media platforms, pages. And what you want to do is when you're researching, you want to look, this is how you learn so much about a company. Also, you want to relate it back to you. How does this company align with who you are, what your vision is, what your morals are, what your values are, what you stand for? Does this company and you have that in common? Okay, so you want to find those common connections. Third step in research and prepping for interview is, now if you have the interviewer's name, make sure you get the interviewer's name and the position they are in. You want to then go to LinkedIn, look this person up, and you want to study the LinkedIn profile. Okay, you want to read everything about them. Second part is you want to look at the activity and you want to see there's clues on what they like. So on LinkedIn, let me show you this. This is so easy to do. What you can do is, the best way to do is you go on the individual's page. So let me share my screen on what I mean. So let me show you. Share screen. Yes. Okay. Okay, so let me make this bigger. Okay. Can everybody see? Yes. So you go on to the individual's profile. So like I'm on mine. I'm going to show you using my profile. So you want to study their profile. You look at what there's featured activities. So this is what I mean by activity. So first step is go through their profile, read about them, read their about section, and make some notes. Try to find something you can connect with this individual. What's something you two have in common? So study the LinkedIn profile. Read every single word that is written on their LinkedIn profile. Go under the experience section, read all that as well, okay? Make notes, try to draw a conclusion, try to draw common things that you have in common. Education, skills, licenses, volunteer experience. Just study all their profile, everything, look at the recommendations, everything and everything. This is how you want to study the interviewer, because you want to draw that connection with this person, because this person's going to be interviewing you. So this is how you can get clues of you'll get some knowledge before going into the interview of who this person is. Okay. Second step is you want to look at the activity. Okay. So if you go to the activity section, click on see all activity, you can see everyone's activity. Okay, so you can click on all activities, or you can click on post. So first step is look at post. Are they writing post or what they're sharing? Go through that and try to see if you can connect to anything that they have written. If they have any articles, last time I wrote an article was 2016. I don't really write articles anymore. And then you can look at all activity. All activity will show you, the things that they're engaging with, the things they're liking. It gives you an idea of what this person likes, and so on. Now, what this will give you, what this will help you do is icebreaker. This will help you when you go into the interview. It will help you build that common connection with the person, and it will help you start a conversation, those icebreakers. So that's what you do in that step, okay? Now, next step is you want to, so now let's go into, next step is, which one should come first? Okay, so let me cover next step would be, let's say it's a video interview, okay? You wanna set up your space 24 hours before your video interviews. Because we're still in the pandemic, depending on where you live, actually, if you're still in Canada, then we are still in pandemic and we're still kind of in a lockdown, especially if you're in Ontario. Chances of you having an in-person interview is really slim, depending on the role. And depending on what country you live in, you possibly can have in-person interviews. So if you are going for, if you have a video interview, here's my best practices for video interviews. You want to test everything out 24 hours. Okay, here's what common mistakes people make with video interviews is, please don't have, if you're doing it from your phone, please don't hold your phone. Okay, there was two people I was interviewing. They were holding their phone, and as they were talking, they were moving, and the phone was moving with them. I get motion sickness, so I had to tell them, please. I had to cut them off in the interview. I had to tell them, can you please put your phone down, because this is making me sick. Like, it's giving me a headache. I'm getting nauseous. So best practice is, if you are going to do the interview, I don't recommend, honestly speaking, I don't recommend you doing any interview from your phone. I would recommend use a laptop or you use your computer. Set yourself on a desk. It's like I'm sitting on a desk right now. It's more comfortable. It's more natural than to be walking and talking. I don't recommend walking and talking. I don't recommend you sitting in a park and doing an interview either. Interview is all about putting your best foot forward. So my best practices is, unless that's the only quiet space you have, is like you have to go in your car to do it because kids are home. That's a different story. But even if you are going to do the interview in your car, you're going to use your phone, make sure it's hands-free. Put it somewhere where you don't have to be holding the phone in your hand. Okay, so how do you set yourself up for the video interview is you want to make sure that you are eye level. Okay, so look at me. I'm perfectly centered into the screen. I'm eye level. Sometimes I forget to look at the camera, which is perfectly fine, guys, because it's so hard to be looking at the camera 24/7. So I'm trying to now look at the camera as I'm talking. But a lot of times you'll see me, I'm not really looking at the camera because I'm trying to look at the screen. Camera and screen can be a little bit different. So what rule of thumb is, you take your finger, go to the camera, okay, and you line it to your eyes so that you are eye leveled, okay? Second, arm length. Be sitting away from the computer at least an arm length. So I'm tad bit away more than an arm length because I'm short. I'm short and my arms are short. So I'm tad bit, maybe half an inch even more away from than an arm length. If you have long arms, even better. So you want to make sure that you are away from the computer, from the camera. You don't want to be up in the computer. Okay, second, don't want you to be able to see above your, like, see your nose, like see in, like, what's the right word? No one should be able to see up your nose. That's it. No one should be able to see up your nose. That's why it's so important to set up your space. Do this 24 hours before your interview. Don't do it like 20 minutes before the interview. You're going to get into the panic mode if it's not working for you, right? So have all this stuff set up properly before the interview. Best practices, do it 24 hours, okay? So you want to make sure you are eye level. You want to make sure that you are centered into your screen. You know, typically speaking, chest up is good length, okay? If it's a little bit further, that's fine too. But you don't want to be sitting so far away from the computer, and you don't want to be sitting so close up to the computer either. No one should be able to see up your nose. No one should be seeing your head either. Again, eye level, like you're sitting in person and talking to the person, okay? Third, lighting. is so important. You don't, so here's my window, and I'm sitting parallel, kind of parallel to the window. You don't want to be in front of the window and the camera is right behind, like projecting right into the window, okay? Because of the lighting coming from the background, you're gonna look darker. The light, it's gonna make it look dark. Not that you're gonna look dark, you're gonna look dark, like someone won't be able to see you. So lighting is very crucial as well. You want to make sure you are set up in your space and the lighting is hitting you perfectly as well. Parallel yourself to the window, or have yourself, you can sit beside a window, that's not an issue at all. Just you don't want to have your back to the window, okay? If you have a lamp, you can bring your lamp. So because I do a lot of videos and stuff, I have proper equipment. I have LED lights, stands and everything. I have a mic. I'm not telling you guys to go invest in this unless this is something you've been doing regularly. There's no point just to go invest in it just to do interviews. You can wear your headphones, not a problem. You can use a lamp or pick a spot in your house that has the most light. Okay, you want to be able to, the person should be able to see you, right? So that's how you make these interviews, video interviews, personable. Now, setting up your space. I'm not telling you to go spend money to do this, but it's, if you can, use what you have, use some little props to make it look nice. Like I love flowers, so I always get fresh flowers. I have usually like a table, I have my laptop here, or when this is an iPad, I have a book. You can actually get some books and you can have the book set up like this. There's so many ways to decorate to make the space look nice and presentable for the interview. So don't be afraid to do that, because again, you want to put your best foot forward in an interview. So when someone comes on and it's like, wow, right? You want to wow them. It's an impactful. It's also a way to have a nice, great conversation. Someone's like, oh my God, it's such a nice, pretty background, so on. Or you can use those virtual backgrounds if you like as well. So make sure it's nice and lit up. Someone can see you. It's eye level, sound's working. Make sure you are sitting by internet signal is high, strong, strength. Sit in that room where the internet is the strongest, because this stuff will really matter. Because keep in mind that when we're doing videos, it does take up a lot of bandwidth. So you need a strong internet signal. So make sure you are sitting where your internet's the strongest, okay? I recommend doing interviews when it's peaceful, quiet. If you have kids, like pick around the timing where kids are either in school, kids are napping, sleeping. Companies will be willing to make that adjustment, and companies are willing to be flexible to help you have the best interview. Because let's be real, if your kids are running around screaming, you won't be able to concentrate either, right? So best practice, if you have kids, try to schedule those interviews when your kids are occupied in school activities or they're sleeping, okay? Now, so that's how you set up the interview. Dressing for success is the key. Actually doing a workshop next week on Tuesday, 8 p.m. on how to dress for success. Nadia, which is an image consultant, is coming in to do a workshop. So if you want to sign up for this workshop, let me know, hit me up, or I will drop the link. It's only for members that are part of my member community. So you have to be a member to get access to this workshop. This is well worth the workshop to attend, because she's going to go over the different colors schemes on how to dress for success, how to dress for interviews. Dressing for success also means your everyday, how you dress as well, how you show up at work, how you dress. Dressing is so crucial. You want to dress for the part you want, not the part you already have. You want to dress for success. You want to dress for what you want. My biggest thing on dressing is this: if you want to land high paying jobs, you gotta look like $1 million. You gotta. Like, look how I'm presenting myself today. I am wearing a blazer. I have now jewelry. I have jewelry on, but bare minimal. Okay, so dressing to impress. You have to dress for the part you want. Next, dress. I always say you put your best foot forward. You want to look like $1 million. And that's one way to actually capture the interviews, capture their attention. It's one of the best ways to also get higher salaries is how you present yourself. Presentation is the key, guys. Presentation is the key. Even on videos, how you present yourself, how your space looks like, all these little details do matter. Don't ever underestimate these little fine details. Now, how do you look and how you dress? Ladies, stay away from heavy makeup. Do not wear heavy makeup. So this pink lipstick that I'm wearing today, probably wouldn't wear it in an interview. I don't wear foundation, so I'm okay with that. I wouldn't do heavy eye makeup either. You want the corporate look, so you find a little eyeliner, a little bit of a mascara. You can wear a little bit of a blush if you want. Again, the rule of thumb when you're going for interviews is you want that corporate look. If your makeup look is something you would do when you're going out with your friends, chances are that's a no-no. Then that's not what you present in an interview. Stay away from heavy makeup. Stay away from heavy foundation. You can do a light blend. You can Google corporate look and get those there's a lot of makeup tutorials on corporate makeup look. So look into that. And you want to look really sharp and presentable. You should wear a blazer, nice blouse. You can jewelry, keep in mind bare minimal. Like, okay, so I'm wearing this. I wouldn't wear this in an interview. This bracelet, I wouldn't. I would wear something more lighter. This ring is fine. I wouldn't wear this ring either. Me personally, I wouldn't wear this ring either if I was going for an interview. So those are my little tips. Guys, men, if you're going in interviews, again, dress to impress. You want to wear a suit, a tie. Your tie you can get very creative with. You can wear an impactful tie color that would kind of like pop and have the square pockets. You can cufflinks, so little accessories, little defined details are great. Okay, so now let's move on to the next step is you want to prep for interviews. So part B to prepping for an interview is you want to now you can Google possible interview questions and answer those questions. And then videotape yourself. So do mock interviews with yourself. It's the best practice. Grab a friend. Grab a friend and get them to do mock interviews with you so that they can point out some mistakes you're making, the delivery of your questions. The more you practice interview questions, the better you will get at. My biggest tip is please stay away from what Google tells you to how to present your interview questions, like STAR method, or I tell you, I will get into the STAR method. You cannot use STAR method for every single question. I will tell you, I'm going to go over the STAR method a little bit later on how to structure your interview questions. You don't want to sound like a robot. You don't want to I've seen people, thank you for asking me a question, and then you go into answering this question. You don't want to thank them every single time they're asking you a question. You're not going to sound genuine. You're going to sound like a robot. So keep in mind that you don't want to sound like a robot. You want to sound like you. You want to be you in the interview. Now, if you've attended any of my lives, you can tell that I move my hands a lot. That's just who I am. Even in my personal life, literally I can be eating dinner and have a knife and fork and I'll be going like this and be like, whoa, Gerpy, put your knife down. That's just who I am. I have to move my hands and arms. I can't sit still. I just can't. That's just who I've always been. I just can't sit still. So I have to move my hands. I just be moving, laughing. That's me. That's my personality. So you want to showcase who you are in the interview also by being you. Show your personality. If you like to move your hands, move it. There's nothing wrong. A lot of people get into this thing about this is right, this is wrong. I don't believe in right or wrong. I believe in that you got to be you in the interview. You got to showcase your personality. The pitches have to be high and low, because that's how we talk, right? That's how we talk. Look at how many times my pitch has gone up and low and high. I'm not talking to you in a flat tone. It's like this. Sometimes I'm laughing, sometimes I'm smiling, sometimes I'm serious and talking to you, and then I'm go into laughing mode. So that's what you want to do in the interview. Just like how I'm talking to you is how you should be talking in the interviews. Keep in mind, the interviews should be conversations. You want to take those interview questions and turn them into conversation. So this takes me to step 2, how to deliver your interview answers. Okay, so let me give you a format on how to structure your interview questions. Your interview answers. Okay, so typically I use a three-step system. So here's what you want to do. There's 4 steps I teach in my bootcamp program on how to land your dream job. Here's what, a lot of these insights that I'm sharing today is what I actually go a lot more in detail in my coaching program, my group coaching program called Land Your Dream Job, and get paid up to 90% more in salary. And I go for all this stuff. I actually have a whole blueprint on every single step. So let me give you a framework on how to be in the interview. Step 1, let the interview facilitate the interview. Okay, don't jump in and I call it hijacking. Don't hijack the interview. Let them facilitate. Let them navigate. Okay. Second thing is, so let them facilitate. So let me now walk you through what to do in the interview. Step 1, listen to the question being asked. Listen. Listening skills are so important. So listen to the question that's being asked. Step 1, listen. Step 2, take the time to process. Process what is being asked. If you don't understand what is being asked, what the question is, then ask the interviewer for some clarification. Okay, so step 2, process. Step 3, formulate. You want to formulate your answer. And then step 4, you deliver. Okay, so 4 steps. In the 4 steps when the interviewer is going to ask you questions, 4 steps to follow. I'm going to repeat this. Please write these down. Listen to the question. Listen. Step 2, process what's being asked of you. Step 3, come up with the answer. So formulate your answer. And step 4 is when you deliver. Okay. 15 plus years of hiring experience and conducting thousands of interviews. I can tell you, number 1 reason why people tank interviews is not listening to what the question is being asked. Go straight into answering the question. And that's how you would tank the interview. Because when you, I would ask a question and I'm not even done asking a question and persons are already answering it. Or I just finished asking a question, boom, the candidate's already answering it. That's how you will tank your interviews. That's how you will mess up in the interviews. What's going to happen is if you didn't take the time to listen, process, formulate your answer, and then went to delivery, you will end up missing out on answering the actual full question that was being asked. And I've seen this in 15 plus years that I've been hiring and interviewing candidates. A lot of times candidates don't end up answering the interview question that was being asked because you went straight into answering and you started answering, but then you totally forgot what the question was. And then you kind of just went on to a whole different direction. I've seen this happen every single time I've done interviews. So many candidates do this one common mistake. You can bring a pen and paper with you in the interview, and you can write little notes down as they're asking questions. So it helps you stay focused. Now, in the interview is not going to tell you that you didn't answer the question. They're just not going to do that. If you didn't answer the question, here's what I do. The candidate didn't answer the question, I'm going to write a note saying, didn't answer the question. That's it. Because that's how I'm going to assess candidates, right? If you didn't answer the question, I can't move you to the next round of interviews. The whole purpose of interviewing is getting to know you, right? It's a conversation. It's all about getting to know you. So make sure, last time repeating these steps, listen, process, formulate, and then deliver. Okay. Now let's go to part B of structuring how to deliver your answer. Okay. So delivery, the structure of your delivery should be depending on what's being asked. Okay. If it's a situational question being asked, what would you do in X situation? That's when you use the START method. Okay, you talk about the situation. So I don't really use a STAR method. I use a 3-step. You talk about the situation. You talk about the action and steps you took to overcome the situation or solve that problem. And then what was the outcome and result? So STAR is situation, task, action, and results, right? So to me, task and action is the same thing. So I use a simple 3-step. Here's the situation. So you give the situation, then you go into what steps you took, the action you took to solve that problem or overcome the situation. And then don't forget to talk about the result and the outcome. Okay. So this is how you structure a situational type of question or behavior type of question. Now, you can use this structure for every question. This is where people mess up. People tend to use STAR method for every single question, and you can't, because STAR method is for situational questions. For example, if I ask you what are your top 3 strengths, you can use the STAR method. Just talk about your strength. If I ask you a common question that we asked of you is, tell me about your strength. Tell me about one weakness you have. Now, tell me about the weakness you have. You cannot use the STAR method. So, common question. Tell me about your weakness. Now, here's what you want how to answer this question. Talk about the one genuine weakness you do have. Don't go into these cliche answers. I can't say no. I work too much. I end up working too hard. Those are cliche, okay? Really, the question is, are you aware of your own, are you self-aware of the weaknesses you have? Are you self-aware of the areas of improvements you need to overcome, right? This is a self-awareness question. This is not to, like a lot of people go into cliche, and honestly, someone like me who has been doing interviews for 15 plus years, guess what? I will know that you're not being genuine. I know that you're just, you Googled how to answer the question, the weakness question, and you just took and copy and pasted and memorized it, and now you're telling me a memorized question answer. You don't want to memorize cliche answers. You want to be real. So be self-aware of weakness. Now, when you're answering the weakness question, please don't use a weakness that is needed as a strength to do the job. Like, for example, if public speaking is a must in the role, you don't want to talk that's your weakness, because then you totally ruled yourself out of that role, okay? So that's how you structure your answers. Now, let's go into the last and the final step in the interview is closing strategy. You have to have a closing strategy that will get you to the next round of interviews. So let me see if anybody has a closing strategy. Tell me what your closing strategy is, okay? So closing strategy is the most crucial part in the interview. And if you don't have a closing strategy, it's probably why you're struggling to move into the next rounds of interviews. It's probably why you're not landing those job offers, okay? You must have a closing strategy. So here are my steps in closing those interviews. Step 1, once the interview is done asking their questions, they are going to now ask you, do you have any questions for me? And here's where people screw up. This is where people screw up. And this is why you're probably not moving into your next round of interviews. I always ask candidates, everyone asks this, anyone that's doing interviews will ask the candidate, do you have any questions for me? And this is where people tank their interviews. Oh no. So I'm going to tell you all the answers I've ever heard when I say, do you have any questions for me? No, you've answered all my questions. Oh, yes, I do. So what will I be doing in this role? What's the salary? You can ask the salary question, not a problem. Or when can I expect to hear from you? So only asking like 2 or 3 questions, and that's it. When can I expect to hear from you? Or you've already answered all my questions. No, I don't have any interview questions. I don't have any questions for you. So that's how you tank the interview question. That's how you will tank your interviews, and you will not move forward. No company is going to move forward with a candidate who is not invested in their own career. So you want to have interview questions. You want to have great questions to ask. Now, what is a great question to ask? First of all, let's take a step back. What's important to you? What's important to you in your career? What is important that the employer should have for you, right? The employer and the manager. So if you are in front of a manager, this set of questions you should be asking a manager. But you want to get you got to ask yourself what's important to you that a company should have, what's important in the role to get you to the next level, right? So you have to ask sound right questions. You have to ask questions. Now, rule of thumb, there isn't no rule of thumb. If I'm interviewing you and I've asked you 10 questions, please ask me 10 questions. There's no such thing that, now this is where Google screws people up. Google tells you, if you Google interview, they would tell you only ask 5 questions. No, no, no. If I asked you 10 questions, you can ask me 10 questions. The interviews asked you 10 questions. You have every right to ask me 10 questions, but you want to ask the right questions. Now, is there such thing as asking a wrong question in the interviews? Yes, there is. Believe it or not, yes, it is. So the saying that there's no such thing as a dumb question does not apply in the interviews, because there is a such thing as a dumb question. And I've talked to many HR recruiters on this, and they also said, yes, there are such things as interview asking a dumb question, a candidate asking a dumb question. Now, what makes a dumb question would be you asking, what will you be doing in the role? What would the day-to-day look like, especially if the individual's already covered thoroughly what the position is. Like, I do my interviews very, very thoroughly, very structured. The first thing I do when I talk to a candidate is I actually paint a real realistic picture of what the role is, what your day will look like, the day-to-day, some of the challenges coming into this role. Like if you've ever interviewed with me, you will know down to the T, I will give you a clear, realistic image of the role, the company, the department, so you can make a sound decision for yourself. Now, not every interview is like me, and not every interview is going to do that, but typically speaking, every interviewer will give you a clear, so recruiter and HR will give you a clear image of what the role is. I actually even go into speaking on who the ideal candidate is and who will be the right candidate for the role. I take a whole second layer when I do interviews. So I'm very strategic in my interview planning stages when I'm recruiting. So you want to do the same thing. You want to be strategic. So questions, you should ask questions, 10 questions, 12 questions, 13 questions. You should be asking questions to make a sound decisions. When you ask great questions that will help you make a decision, you are already now standing out to the interviewer. You are standing out from the crowd, because guess what? You're not the only one that's being interviewed, but those that are invested in their career are always candidates that every company wants, because it shows your initiatives, it's showing how you tackle problems, how you make decisions. It's putting you in a whole different light. Now, some questions you can ask. Again, what type of questions to ask is little bit gotta be, I can give you a whole list. Like in my boot camp, I have a whole document of, I don't know how many questions I give my clients in my boot camp coaching program, a whole list of questions that they should be asking in the interview. You want to ask interview questions. Last step in the closing strategies, so important what you do after the interview. This is where a lot of people don't do is, no, you don't just send a thank you letter. No. So thank you letters, I'll be honest, do not do anything, because they're all generic. You're just saying thank you for your time. Now you can thank the person that interviewed you when you're in the interview. What you want to do is you want to craft a personalized message. So I teach this whole strategy in my bootcamp program on pitch decks, on making a video, a thank you video. You want to pay attention. So that's where you asking sound questions will also help you what you do after the interview. So what you want to do is you want to craft a pitch deck, and then you can send that pitch deck that like touches on things that, for example, if you're in front of a hiring manager, you can ask about different challenges departments facing, and then you can put a whole pain point pitch deck together and with 1 or 2 recommendations and solutions, and then you send that over. You can then also even videotape yourself pitching using that pitch deck slides Keep in mind the video should be under 2 minutes. You can also do a pitch on why the company should hire you. You can, at the end of the interview, something you send, you say thank you, and here's a couple of things on why I'm the great fit for this candidate, why you should hire me, and why they should hire you should be all about the benefits that they're going to get from you, the return on the investment. Okay, so these are my tips and advice on how to ace those interviews. All these steps are really, really important. Now, lastly, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. If you did find this segment helpful, please let me know. Now, there's 2 things I want to cover. I do interview coaching, so I just give you a little bit of a framework to help you ace those interviews. Some of you are good to go. Some of you may need that extra help to really help you nail these interviews. And if you want that help, please reach out to me. I do interview coaching one-on-one, as well as I do have a group coaching program that helps people land in their dream roles and earn up to 90% more in salaries. So these strategies that I just went over will help you land multiple job offers. When you want to land multiple job offers, it's the most sweetest spot to be in. Why? Because now you have the upper hand, the bargaining power of negotiating those salaries, negotiating the salaries. One thing I forgot to talk about was presentation. If you gotta look the part and communicate how you present yourself in the interview, how you talk, all have to line up with the desired salary you want. Go to payscale.com, at least get a framework of how much you are potentially worth. You can get more than what PayScale is saying. So my clients that work with me, just yesterday, I got 2 of my clients messaged me who've landed one of my clients landed her first 6-figure role with Amazon. So yay to her. She was in my bootcamp program. She took it last year. So last year when she joined, she was making 40K. By the time she graduated for my bootcamp program, she landed a 60K job, and now she landed a 100K job, all within less than a year. She's already flipped 2 positions, and she's in her 2nd position working with me. That's the results that my clients get when they work with me. Every single one of my clients have gotten great results, landed in their dream jobs, and are making more money than what PayScale will tell you that you're worth. Because it all comes down to positioning, it all comes down to selling, all comes down to your superpower, which is your brain. Keep in mind the companies are making money, profits from your brain. You should ask for the piece of the pie. There are tons of people in roles and not getting what they truly should be getting. Like I've helped people even land 150K, 200K. So it's not about how many years experience you have. It's all about how you align yourself and know your worth. Like for example, I charge $200 an hour. Do I need to have 30 years experience to charge $200 an hour? No. It's all about positioning, right? How you sell yourself. So I hope this segment helped you guys. Let me know in the comments. So now I will take any questions you may have. So let me go through the comment sections. Also, feel free to reach out to me. I do have a website, so let me type in my website. If you need further assistance with anything, you can visit my website, gkmcoaching.com/store. Is my website. If you can also feel free to reach out to me personally. You can message me personally on LinkedIn as well. I do reply back to pretty much everybody. So feel free to message me directly, send me a DM as well. If you are living outside of US and Canada, if you want to connect with me, I don't really accept connection requests outside of US and Canada unless there is a note. Then I will accept it because I am about to max out my connection requests. LinkedIn has a limit. You can only have 30,000 connections, and I don't want to max my out. I'm pretty much going to be maxing that out. Feel free to follow me. If you're not following me already, please follow me. I did see a message from this person, John. Love the idea of the pitch deck. Yes, you know what, John? So John is somebody who has a podcast, Zero to Hire, I think it is. I was a guest. He was the first podcast I've ever been interviewed as a guest was his. And till this day, John, I think I sent you a message. I'm not sure if I did or not, but till this day, I have people messaging me, John, about my episode on your podcast that literally took place two years ago. And I still have people messaging me on my episode with you, John, about the pitch decks on the interview. So I do have John has a podcast. Do feel free to listen to it. Zero to Hire, I think it is. So great podcast. So let's go. Okay, guys, if you have questions, type them below. I'm here to now help you land your dream roles. Okay. I had one interview recently, but no feedback yet. Okay. Now, feedback. To be honest, no one's going to give you feedback. Typically speaking, there's really not much to say other than the other candidate was more aligned with what we were looking for. That's what anyone's going to basically say. That's what I say as well. I'm not going to give people feedback. So what I do when I'm interviewing is I let the candidate know the process. And I always say, I'm only going to be reaching out to candidates that I'm moving forward with. If you don't hear from me, that means I'm not moving forward with you. Rest assured, when the position is closed, a message will email every candidate that's applied for this role will be emailed, and they will be notified of the closing of the role. That's my generic message. Could you kindly share any tips about close out any sensitive developments, expectations that could impact your performance during an interview? Okay, so this is the part I didn't cover. Now, let me cover this. What you want to do before you walk into your interviews, here's what I do as well till this day. Please take time to be in the right headspace. So that's why it's important to pick up your outfit 24 hours before, have everything lined 24 hours before. I actually meditate 10, 20 minutes before I jump on a client call, before I go LinkedIn Live. I actually take time to meditate. I close my eyes. I set my intent, what I'm trying to accomplish. I hope this goes this way. Like just getting really focused on what I want to accomplish. So even coming on today's LinkedIn Live segment, I actually took 10 minutes to close my eyes, meditate, set my intent, and my biggest intent was, I hope every single person that listens to this segment gets the desired results they want, that they are successful in their interviews, and I'm able to help. So that's the focus and the intent, right? So you want to meditate, set your focus intent. I do the same. I'm only sharing what I do, and this is what has helped me. Also, what has helped me is when I used to go for interviews, even now when I do client calls or potential before I get on client calls, energy, right? You want to get yourself in that high energy, be it listening to the right type of music, dancing. I love dancing, so I would sometimes dance an hour before. Get myself, okay, not first thing in the morning, I'm not dancing. Well, first thing in the morning, I go for my run, workout, exercise, spend some time with my dogs, meditate. So you got to have a ritual. So I just covered this segment with my clients last night on our bootcamp coaching program. I talked about having a ritual, craft an interview ritual, a ritual that you would do before your interviews. You want to make sure that you have enough space in between your interviews. So let's say your interviews at 12 o'clock, make sure, let's say interviews at 1 o'clock. From 12 to 1 is your me time so that you can get into that right headspace. It's so important to be in the right headspace, okay? Now, if you have low confidence, identify why do you have low confidence? What's keeping you stuck, okay? Hope that helps. I do affirmations too, every single day. I even write affirmation out. I have them. Sometimes if I'm really in the funk, I will write affirmations on sticky notes and I put them, like I have them on my bathroom mirror. I have it on my desktop. I actually have, if you can see my back wall, I'm a firm believer of words are really powerful. So I have stuff that reminds me every day to be in the balance. So here, I'll show you guys. On my desk, I have these 3 little blocks that I bought that, so wording is, oh yeah, I didn't take the stickers off. So I have these, I purchased these, I think, I don't remember when I purchased. So I'm always adding to my collection. For me, what works for me is seeing words, messages. So that's how I decorate my house. That's how I decorate my space, is to be in that zone. So this one says breathe and let go. So these little 3 blocks are actually sitting on my desk. This one says balance, create the life you love. I bought these, I forgot where I bought them, from a store. So there's things that you can implement and incorporate into your daily life that will help you stay in that great energy. Keep in mind, we're humans. We will be going up and down. Hence why that's how I decorated my place. My house is, this one says take time to make your soul happy. You gotta be happy from inside. And when you're happy from the inside, it will show on your face, the glow. I have little quotes of that one, and the back wall says, that was my inspiration of me being a boss. So one says, just a girl boss building her empire, new year, new me, new you. It feels good to be lost in the right direction. So things you can implement is having these little structures, these words that will help you, remind you of where you want to be, where you want to go, the positivity. I listen to affirmations as well. Spotify, you can listen to YouTube. So there's those tools. I listen to high frequency beat music as well, that helps you get into that level. So these are some things I do every single day. So create a ritual for yourself. I'm going through to the first round. What can I expect? First round of interviews are still interviews. I think a lot of people don't understand how important even that 10-15 minute conversation is. So this is a great thing. Forgot to mention, when a company calls you and say, hey, I'm calling from such and such company, you apply for this position, do you have 20 minutes to speak with me? Always say no. Always say no, unless it's a recruiter from a recruitment agency. Take it. Why you want to say no and why you want to schedule the interview, even if it's 10-20 minutes, is because you want to be able to prep. So I think I've covered this. Please, I missed the first and second part of the discussion. You can watch the replay. Listen, process, formulate, deliver. Steps to answering interview questions. Yes, you got it. Great advice, Kirby. Listening is key in keeping your focus, especially when one might feel a little daunted. Yes. Also, guys, I have a membership. Let me drop that. Join my membership. There's tons of videos in my membership that you can get access to that will help you land those dream jobs, help you grow your career successfully, help you ace those interviews as well. Plus, you get access to me. I do coaching once a week for my members who are part of my membership. So join the membership. So here's the link. Also in the membership, I have subject matter experts come in and teach workshops. Like this Tuesday, had an individual who's into healing, helping people get unstuck, overcome the limiting beliefs, the fears. I had, his name is Mike, and he's actually a regular on my membership. He will be teaching workshops once a month to help people overcome a lot of their fears and getting to, master your life and living that dream life and getting into your dream careers. And then Nadia is doing a workshop next week on how to dress for success. And honestly, she has this amazing color psychology like that blew my mind when she was talking about this. I even didn't even know about this. Sometimes we're doing things and we're not even aware how little things can make an impact. I have a financial planning advisor coming in July to teach my on how to financially plan. Now, this is the key to success: is you can be in a great role in a position that makes you great money, but if you don't manage your finances properly to set yourself up for success, all that money is probably just you're wasting, or it's just being utilized in places you shouldn't be. So financial planning is a key as well, so you also have money, right? So join the membership. The whole reason I'm doing this membership is to really help people be successful in their life and their career. You want to have a successful career, also have a successful life, one that's you're happy, you're passionate. So hence there's going to be all these subject matter experts coming in and talking on different topics to really help people live their dream and live their life. I've used the thank you video strategy, attended your session with Nimbek. Oh, I thought I recognized you from there. Hopefully waiting to hear great news. You're welcome. Yes, that was a killer session with Nimbek, NIPCA. Great news, Olenola. I've been actually going to be an advisor, permanent advisor on the association that you're a part of. I haven't shared this news openly yet, but now that you mentioned it, so I'm actually going to be the HR and career advisor for NIPICA. I don't know how to pronounce it, NIPCA. So you'll be seeing me regular there. Fantastic presentation as usual. Please, can you talk a bit more on negotiations? How can we get employers to increase their offers? How do you negotiate? Okay, so I actually have a whole strategy on how to negotiate salaries. First step first is research. You got to do your homework and research. You shouldn't just throw out a number when you're negotiating. Okay, so let me take a step back. First step in negotiating. Oh my God, I'm over an hour. First step is get the offer in writing. Okay, you want to get the offer in writing. Okay, this is the most crucial part. Company will call you, HR will call you and give you the great news. We're so happy to extend you the offer, blah blah blah. You say, here's what you want to say when you get that phone call of the offer. You thank them, and you say, can you please send me this in the email, and I will review it and I will get back to you. Okay, step one is get it in an email in a written format. Step two, you want to negotiate everything. Okay, this is where people screw up. People are so scared to negotiate. People do not negotiate, and people then sometimes a lot of people just negotiate salaries. No, you want to negotiate everything and everything and everything and everything and everything. Okay, so I have a whole template in my bootcamp program on how to negotiate salaries. Okay, you want to negotiate. First of all, let's not throw out a random number. Now, it's proven research that anytime you negotiate salaries, you will get more. It's proven research. You will always get more. Now, there's a way to do it to even get more. Like my clients in my bootcamp program have taken like an 80K offer and turned it in and converted it into a 130K. And that was the final offer they end up getting, right? Because it's all about strategy. So what you want to do is you want to do homework and research on, keep in mind the role and you are two separate things. A lot of people just focus on the role. No, don't focus just on the role. The role itself will have its market. This is what I do with hiring managers. I tell the hiring manager two things. Role has its market value. A candidate will have its own market value. Two are two separate. So if you're looking for a candidate with X amount of years experience, this role is equal to this in the market space. But keep in mind that the candidate could bring more to the table based on what you're looking for, and hence their value is going to be more, right? So you got to be able to navigate through these differences. The role itself will have its own market rate, which you should look at. Okay, that's how you go to pay scale. There's tons of ways to look at what the market rate should be for that position. Okay, it's step one. Step two is you. You and the role are two separate things. That's the role, and that's what the market rate should be. Now, you are an individual that has its own unique superpowers. Your superpower is your brain. Your brain, your credentials, your experience, but mainly your brain. Now, your brain is capable of doing so many things. No two people have the same brain. I have a twin sister. Me and my twin sister do not have the same brain. Heck, we don't have the same personality. We are totally two opposite people. So just to prove a point that two people will never have the same brain. So this is where you make more money, is your brain. So what are you capable of bringing to the table? What can your brain do that no one else can do? That is your superpower, and that is your uniqueness. And now your brain is where the company is going to benefit. Okay? So in the interview, actually, you should be painting a clear picture of money that you can make the organization so they can see ching, ching, ching. When the company can see ching, 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 meaning return on the investment, they will be willing to give you what you want. So key strategy is the positioning. You got to position yourself. If you want 130K, 60K, or 80K, you got to. It starts the minute you start engaging with the company from the interview, each interview process, each interview steps. You have to keep projecting at that level, so that's no brainer that you are worth that much. This is where a lot of people screw up, is they don't keep the amount they want in the center focus of every time they're delivering in the interview, so that you look the amount you want, you speak the amount you want, presentation. And then when you're negotiating your salaries, you do it in, my puppies are sleeping. They're so cute. They're sleeping together. You want to, I lost my thought because my pup started snoring. Yes, research. So keep that in mind. You and the role are two separate. So do that research and then ask yourself, well, what am I worth? And then you can negotiate higher. So now what you want to do this is you get it in writing, and you want to do the counter offer in writing. You want to negotiate based on research, okay? So base salary, what are you aiming for, what you want? And then you attach the research as well. Second, you want to negotiate your vacation. You want to negotiate bonuses. You want to negotiate signing bonuses. If the company's not offering a signing bonus, you can ask for signing bonuses. You can negotiate a start date. You can negotiate the company to waive out the benefits and have it starting from day one. Now, benefits, the only thing with the benefits that you can negotiate is just waive off the starting date. Instead of waiting for 90 days period, that your benefits kick in the first day of your hire date. The reason you can't negotiate anything with the benefits is because benefits is a third party the company is using, and it's a across the board structure. So you can't, those benefits, one thing you can't negotiate and create a custom benefits package. There's tons of things to negotiate. I've helped successfully negotiate everything for so many people. I have a whole template that I give to my clients, and I teach people how to negotiate. And I also give this template that's all done for you. You're just plugging in your numbers and the research, and that's how you negotiate, and that's how you get more money. How would you address the question? And lastly, what is one thing you would like us to know about you? Okay. Great question. This will get asked. Now, again, it's a strategic way to position this question is there something that they should know about you that has not been able to be, like, let's say, has not come forward in the interview? Now, ask yourself, what's unique about you? What is your passion? What motivates you? This is the same question like, tell me about yourself, right? What's your story? What is your story? How did you land in this role? What motivates you? What keeps you going? What's your higher purpose in your career? Do you have a purpose? A lot of people are not even aligned in the right careers or right job. So take a step back and ask yourself, what's your purpose in life? Is your career fulfilling that purpose that you would love to fulfill? Are you in a meaningful career, or you're just collecting a paycheck? So that's something you should ask yourself. Is a pitch deck ultimately necessary to close job interviews? Yes. Again, it's up to you. If you don't want to do the pitch deck, that's your choice. But my clients do it, and they convert those interviews into job offers like this. Again, there's a strategy on how to put those pitch decks together. This is my first time watching you live. You are motivational. Thank you for the interview tips. Very valuable. Thank you, LinkedIn user. Yay, great news. NAPIC is Nigerian IT professionals in Canada. Yes, so Nigerian IT professionals in Canada isn't a non-profit association. I was invited to deliver our workshop, and now I've been offered to be a part of the team as an advisor. So I'm permanently going to be Nigerian IT professionals in Canada's association. I'm an advisor as an HR and career advisor, specialist, expert. So I'll be seeing you guys soon in there as well. Thank you, Gurpreet. You are welcome. Yes, my name has a lot of stuff back on that. Okay. Any more questions? Please let me know. I'm gonna end this segment. I have gone way over an hour, but that's fine. I am here to help. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm gonna end this segment here. I hope you found it useful, valuable in the segment. If you need further assistance, feel free to DM me on LinkedIn. Feel free to join my membership as well, which will give you tons of resources. Individuals that join my membership have landed jobs in 30 days as well, 60 days as well, 6 weeks, and are setting their career up for success. A lot of people, here's one thing I will leave you guys with, is a lot of people drop the ball the minute they land a job and think they don't need any help anymore. And that's the biggest mistake people make, is when they land a job, they do nothing anymore. No, once you land a job, keep moving forward, keep going. You want to keep setting yourself up for success, setting your career up for success. So don't drop the ball because you got the job. When you have the job, it's the best time to keep moving up and forward. And one thought I do want to leave everybody is that every single one of you are capable of making whatever amount of money you want to make. Okay, you have that power. And it's why I became a coach, actually, is to showcase and help people really tap into their power. And let's face it, money is what determines our lifestyles, the type of life we will live, the food we eat, the clothes we wear, right? Money is something we all need. And this is where I help. This is why I became a career coach, is because so many people don't even negotiate their salaries and think that this is what they deserve and this is what they're going to take. Keep in mind, the companies are going to make you work more than 40, 60 hours a day. Sorry, not a day, a week. Oh my God, imagine working 40 hours. First of all, there's only 24 hours in a day. So companies are going to make you work 40 or plus hours. Oh, my friend Nadia is here. Okay, guys, Nadia is the image consultant I was telling you guys earlier. She is doing a workshop on Tuesday for in my membership. Image consultant, she has this whole color psychology that she's going to teach you each color and how to put colors together to set yourself up for success. First impression is dressing, guys. So, hey, Nadia, thanks you popped in. So be there next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Amazing. Nadia is an amazing person. Amazing. I love her energy. You will love her too. And her knowledge is just bang on. Money is in, like, let's face it, we need money to live the life we want to. We need money to put a roof on top of our head. We need money to put clothes on our bodies. We need money to pay our bills, our internet, everything, right? So never, ever, ever take a job that doesn't pay your true worth. Keep in mind that companies will make you work 40 plus hours. This is one thing that companies are not going to tell you. And a lot of times you don't realize this either until you get into the job. How many people are burnt out right now, working over in this pandemic? So many people are working 60 hours a week for what? Same salary. Same salary. And it's ridiculous. I've seen so many people burning out right now. And it's like, why are you working for a company So I'm an entrepreneur. So my advice is a little bit different. I don't believe in slaving myself for a corporate world. I rather slave for myself and I control how much I make. But that's not for everybody, right? Entrepreneur is not for everyone. That's why you got to recognize what's for you and go after what you want. But even as a career professional, you can make tons of money. It's all about positioning, right? And also keep in mind, be smart. Know that you will be working overtime. So either you negotiate overtime pay in your contracts. And this is why negotiation is so important. You got to look out for the best interest of yourself. You know you'll be working overtime, negotiate overtime pay. There's no, like, so many people do not negotiate overtime. So many people are working so many hours, killing themselves, working 60 hours, but the company's only paying you for 40 hours because you're on a salary. It is so important to negotiate the best deal for yourself. Okay, you don't know how to do that, feel free to reach out to me. I do help people negotiate higher salaries to the T. Negotiate your overtime. Make sure you negotiate overtime pay. Make sure that's in your contracts. Also, employment contracts. Make sure you get an employment contract for the company. And then what you want to do is make sure you hire an employment lawyer to review the employment contract so they can fine tune it and make it best for you. A lot of people won't even invest in getting an employment lawyer to review their employment contract before they sign off on it. It doesn't cost much to get a lawyer to review your employment contract. Maybe some employment lawyers give a flat fee to review employment contracts. Make sure you get an employment contract to review your contract because they will put languages in the contract that will protect you as an employee. Okay, get a lawyer to review it, negotiate every single thing, and also overtime pay. Make sure you negotiate those overtime pay. Also, please keep track of your overtime. You are protected. Know your rights. You are protected under laws. Depending on where you live, Canada, US, every country has employment laws. Every company, every state and province has their own laws. Know your rights, know your laws, and protect yourself is my best advice as I end this segment. Feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions. If you need my assistant, you want me as your coach, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to take on new clients as well. So on that note, I'm going to end this segment. Thank you once again for tuning in, and thank you for all the love and support I continuously get from my LinkedIn family, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.